Hi, second grade parents. We're excited to be able to send home to you our second parent packet. Now, as many of you know, our state adopted new standards. So what we've done is we've taken some of those critical skills that we know your child needs to learn this year, and we've made them in a game form. Now, this month we have fun comparing numbers, and we also have an amazing lengths game. First, let's take a look at the fun with comparing numbers. In your packet, you're going to have number cards. You're also going to have a dice. So with this, you're going to let your child roll the dice. So if you come up with the number 6, you're going to say, okay, let's put 6 in the ones place. So we have little cards that have 6 on here. I'm just going to write the number 6. Roll it again. Maybe it's a 3. So now I have 6 ones. I have 3 10s. 3 10s is really the number 30, right? Make sure your child understands that. That's helping them with that number sense. Okay, then I roll a 2. So I have 236. I have 2 hundreds, so that's 200. I have 3 10s, that's 30, and I have 6 ones. This is an easy way to reinforce that skill of your child understanding that place value. You're going to do it again on the other side. Say you get a 1, a 2, and a 2. Okay? So now our next step is to say, okay, we've got to figure out which one is greater than the other one, right? Which one is more? So our first number is 236. Our second number is 221. Now, please get them to tell you the numbers, okay? That's another reinforcement. 221. Them being able to call what number that is. So now we have to look at the hundreds place and see which is more. That's our first step. So let's look in the place value of the hundreds. Oh my goodness, it's the same. So we're going to then go to the next one, the tens place. I have 3 10s and I have 2 10s. So 30, 20. Which is more? 30. Okay, so 236 is more than 221. Now, you want them to understand the symbols. So the open side is going to go to the largest number. So it's always pointing to the smallest number. So then get them to say 236 is greater than 221. Erase it, or in your case, take off the numbers, do it again. So this is an easy, fun way to help them understand ones, tens, and hundreds, those place values that are so important, and understand how to know which is more. Next, we have a little amazing lengths game. Inside your packet, there are 2 little game pieces. Oops, and a dice. So you're going to take that, you're going to put your game pieces here, roll the die, and see, for example, if you rolled a 3, you'd move it 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this says 67 inches minus 56 inches. So here we go, 67 minus 56 okay? We're going to come down. We're going to take, first you make sure you have the same, this is a good time to say, okay, are they both inches? Are they both yards? Because you cannot subtract them with a different length. And it gives you a chance to talk about inches, feet, yards, show them how long those things are. So here we have our problem. We take 6 away from 7. You've got 1. 5 away from 6 is 1. So we are left with 11 inches. So there's some addition. There's some subtraction. Make sure they are looking closely at the signs. Number 1, is it a plus sign? Is it a minus sign? Because that is not easy for some second graders. Next, pull that off the board. Help them work it if they need help. And then make sure they answer it correctly. And then you'll just continue. If you're playing with 2, the next person rolls the dice. You're going to do the same thing. So these are fun games that you can play, but also they're going to help your child with place value, help your child look for the addition and subtraction signs, help them understand greater than, less than. So it's packed full of skills that we want our second graders to understand. Now let's take a look at our reading. Our reading game for this time is practicing fluency. Now, fluency involves accuracy, it involves rate, and it also involves prosody or expression as they're reading. So what we want to do is work with your child. Now, your child may not be accurate with all his words yet. So notice that as y'all are working on this. But we do know to help develop fluent readers is rereading a text is very helpful if they're accurate. And also modeling. You modeling for them how good readers read. So what we have this time is a little fluency practice. The passage is Jose and the Sailboat. But what we're going to have your child do is, if you'll look, we've got little sailboats. We have 10 of them. You cut them up. You put them in order. And then what they have your child do is, for example, it's just going to take one sentence, but it's going to have him go one day they sailed, one day they sailed 2. So he's going to be able to reread. Remember, we talked about that's a great way to build fluency. Reread each time all the way down until the end. He says, one day they sailed to the far side of the lake. Now, each one of these has a sentence on them. After they've practiced those, you have this, which is the passage of Jose and the Sailboat. And so they're going to take these sentences and they've put them into a passage. So all the sentences they've been practicing are now in one passage. So Jose has a small sailboat with a white sail. He lives on a lake and he likes to sail often. So you hear how I'm reading fluently. That's what we want for your student. This is an example of them not reading fluently. Jose has a small sailboat with a white sail. You see how choppy? You want them to scoop those words. You want them to look, we look forward without realizing it. So you want to help them scoop it. So you can even use your finger to scoop. Jose has a small sailboat with a white sail. So you want to scoop those words when they're reading this or when they're reading anything they bring home. I want to encourage you to have them read aloud to you every single day. That way, if they're not accurate, we can figure out, okay, we don't know EA says E most of the time. And we need more practice with that. Or we're having trouble with recognizing an ing on the end of a word. So that way you can pick up on things they're having difficulty with and help them to notice the word, notice what's happening in the word, and help them become more accurate, because you've got to have accuracy before you can have fluency. So if you see a problem with them being accurate, let their teacher know, and let's get some extra work for them sent home. As always, we thank you at Lawrence County for helping us to develop proficient readers, writers, and mathematicians. See you next time.